Hello everyone, my name is Jake, and today we are going to be doing another video. And today we're going to be doing an interesting topic, and it's going to be about how the changes in the demographics are going to affect future elections. Now, obviously the Electoral College is the system which we use, and this is what it currently looks like right now. You need 270 electoral votes to win the presidency. Obviously these demographic changes don't only affect the presidency election system itself. It also affects House and the Senate. Obviously, the more people there, the more House seats you get, and so on. But there has been kind of a shift in where people are living recently, and we will talk about how that and how it affects this map. First of all, let's just look over this. So, currently we have 54 in California, which it was 55 last time. Texas is currently at 40. You have Florida at 30. You have my home state in New York, 28, which is going down because no one wants to live here, unfortunately. Um, then we got a lot over here, which is 3. Okay, 3 is the lowest you can have. You can't have any lower than that. Then you got a lot in the south, which is going to be a big focus on this video. Okay, so this is how it looks like right now. And I just want to go to this place where it shows you the estimated count in 2030 when there's going to be not redistricting, but when there's going to be a different change in the electoral vote based on the proportion of the amount of people which you have. For instance, if you have, let's say, this is just a made up scenario, one person, okay, in a 270 electoral system, and then one person out of 135 people in the whole country, then you would have 2 electoral votes, okay? And just a made up scenario. It's not based on the amount of people you have, it's based on the proportion of the amount of people you have compared to the amount of people in the whole country. So if you go up by, let's say, 1% in population, but the country as a whole goes up by 2%, you would actually be losing seats, even though you're gaining people. It's a very big distinction. Now, you can see most places, or this isn't actually the Electoral College, but it's similar. It's the amount of seats in the House you have. It's basically the same. Um, you can see these are all the ones which don't change, but there are a couple which lose a lot and gain a lot. -4 is how much California and New York will be losing. Now, this is going to be very important because these are very democratic places. So this is basically probably around -4 and -4. So that'd be -8 seats for the Democrats. And we also have Illinois, which I believe that's -3. And they're kind of becoming a bit closer, but that's another big loss. And you also have Pennsylvania, which is a swing state. These are all very big losses for Democrats, which is mostly just because people are moving out of New York and California because of the high rent. Now these people are mostly old, so they mostly vote for Republican, and they are moving to a place where it's actually competitive. So their votes didn't really count in California because of how blue it is. However, let's say they're moving to places like Georgia, North Carolina, which, as you can see, are gaining seats. These are going to make these places more red, or at least that's probably what's going to happen because there's going to be more old people which tend to vote conservative. Now, this could change, keep in mind, because as we have seen in the 2024 election, the older people have tended to shift more to the Democrats. However, in my opinion, I just don't see that lasting for now, as you're going to have the not the you're gonna have some of the Gen Xers become boomers soon, and that's the actual name of it. It's not just me calling them that. Which is going to shift. Um, and also them gaining seats in the House also gives them more for the Electoral College. So let's say they gain 4 more in the Electoral College here and 3 more over here, and you have to combine that with the 8 lost over here, and that's just a safe estimate, which is 15 more Electoral College votes for the Republicans. Now that's a big change. That's basically the size of Georgia, which means they wouldn't have to win Georgia anymore. This is something which is going to affect politics in the future. I'm going to the 2020 map of the census, which shows the difference in population from 2010 to 2020. So you can see California. Keep in mind, I think they're losing right now people, but California and New York still gained people, but it's a very small amount of change in population. Whereas we can see how many people did the USA gain in population from 2010 to 2020. We can see they gained 22 million people, which is 7%. And I think that says they probably each gained around 4% in population, which means they're losing proportion. to the entire state, to the entire country. You also have Illinois with a population loss, which is important, and you can see Texas, Utah, Idaho, North Dakota all gaining more than 15% of the people, which is huge because they're all very Republican, and also you have Florida at 12 to 15. Now you also have the South, which is a very big part of this. A lot of people are moving southern because the houses are cheaper. The houses are really cheaper because people are making less money. But if you make all your money in New York, for instance, then move down south, you have a better cost of living, which is very important. It's like moving to, I don't know, some random place in Africa. You're probably going to be pretty rich, considering they don't the GDP per capita is pretty it's relatively low there. Okay, so this is a very big shift. You can see they're all gaining 8 to 11% of the people, which means the electoral votes in those states will go up, which is going to be a very big change as we go to elections, which have been extremely close. The last three elections have all been pretty relatively close compared to some previous ones where we go back to the 80s. All of the elections in the 80s were landslides. All of them had electoral college victories of over 400, which is just unthinkable now. Um, that's just not something which is going to happen now, and this is something which will affect politics in the future. But that's all I'm going to have today. Let me know how you felt about the video. I'm kind of shifting away from actual elections and more towards like changes and different things which will affect elections. But I appreciate your guys' support and thank you.